Hi everyone. I'm just going to go over a couple problems from our domain and range foldable activity that we did in class today that you'll have to finish for homework. So we're going to look at number 7 and number 10 in this little video. So you can pause the video, you can rewind, whatever you need to do to make sure we really are starting to grasp the idea of domain and range. So if you see here, I have number 7, and it's this weird V-looking graph, okay? Fold in your domain and range flaps first, okay? So domain, remember, are your X values. So I'm going to go ahead and write X in the middle because I know X is going to be in the middle. And we start from the left and go to the right, to the left, and then to the right. Okay, sorry, I won't sing anymore. So then you're going to go from the left, you're going to go out until you don't see the graph anymore. So I'm going to go to here, but then I'm going to think, wait a second, there is an arrow. So remember, the arrow means it's continuing this way forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So think about your X values. If I'm thinking, I'm looking to the left, I'm going to go out this way forever and ever and ever. Open up your flap, and it should say negative infinity. So it should be going out to negative infinity forever because it's going to the left forever. So we're going to have negative infinity here. And remember, next to negative infinities, we're always going to put less than because that is the smallest place we're going, okay? Then on the right side, kind of similarly, we're like, oh, the graph stops there. But wait a second, there is an arrow, which means it's continuing this way forever and ever and ever. So that means it's also, as it's continuing that way, it's going to the right forever. So open up that flap, and it should say positive infinity. So this graph, the domain of this graph is going from the left, negative infinity, all the way to positive infinity. So we have less than positive infinity. Now remember, in this inequality notation, this number is always going to be smaller, so your negative infinity is always going to be the smallest, and your infinity is going to be the biggest. All right? Now your range. All right, let's start. Remember, your range are the Y values. Okay? And then we're going to start from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay? So start from the bottom and go down. That's the last point right here. This is the lowest point we have on this graph. And what is the Y value here? Is that a -2? So that is the smallest Y value that exists on this graph, -2. And since that point exists on the graph, it actually equals -2. So we're going to write less than or equal. So -2 is less than or equal to, this time we have our Y's, because it's our range. And then let's bring down the other flap. So we start here, and then we're going to go up. Now there's arrows. So we're going to continue forever and ever and ever. If you open that flap, it should say you're continuing to positive infinity. So less than infinity. All right, so there's our domain and range for number 7. All right, now let's look at number 10. So this cute little heart here. We're going to first start again with our domain. So remember, domain are your X values. So let's fold in your domain flaps, okay? So now look at the left domain because we start from the left. And I'm going to go out. And is this actually right there the last point on this heart? Okay? So right here is the farthest point to the left of this heart. And if we look down the edge of our paper, what is that X value? That's 1, isn't it? Okay, so 1 is the smallest X value. And since that's actually a point on the graph right there, so we're going to put less than or equal to X. And then now let's look at the right one. We're going to go, oh, and is that actually the biggest X value here? So if you look down, that's when X is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is the biggest. It's also equal to. And then, so our domain is going from 1 to 7, and those points are included. So 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 7. Now let's look at the range. So start at the bottom is right there. This point right here is at the lowest point on this heart, which is, doesn't that cross the y-axis, because these are your y's, at 0. And it's actually a point, so we put less than or equal to. And then we continue up, and we get, there we go. That's our last point. So it's actually what, here and here. And what is our y value here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the biggest y value, and it's also included. So our y's are going from 0 to 4. Okay, 0 to 4. And they're included. So 0 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to 4. I hope this helps you. Make sure to complete the rest of these for homework, and I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.